to the broadcast today. We're just gonna give a few minutes for other people to sign in, and I'll get back to you. Okay? Thank you for tuning in. Okay, guys, good evening. Those of you in Nigeria and other places in West Africa, good morning to those of my friends all the way. Well, it's actually too early, but those of you in China, I know you tune in all the time, but thank you for staying up so late to join this program, this discussion. Good afternoon to those of my friends in Northern Hemisphere. Today we're talking about the Fulani herdsmen and the atrocities that have been committed recently. Peter Agada, Architect Peter Agada, thank you so much. Architect Pastor Peter Agada, thank you so much for signing on. Emeka Idegu, thank you for coming on the program. The point is this. A few days ago, and let me go ahead and tell you people that I don't see myself as a normal everyday person. I reject that of me. Some people see that as pride, but well, I think I'm wonderfully and fearfully made of God. God has put in so much into me. I think I'm smart. I think I'm brilliant. I think I'm intelligent. I think I'm unique. So I don't like to just be like everybody else, okay? The reason why I'm saying this is that people say, Chidi, why do you always want to talk about things that will either get you into trouble, either make you controversial, either look like you're looking for cheap popularity? The reason is because I have something that drives me. I have something that has helped me from when I was way back when I knew, and then I became born again, and I understand the way that God works in me. So when God lays something on my heart, He gives me the ability, gives me the enablement to carry it through. So the reason why I'm talking about this, even though so many people think it's a sensitive issue and I shouldn't be discussing it, is because it is something that everybody should be talking about. Whether you're a Nigerian or you're not a Nigerian, people are being killed, people are dying every day. There is so much chaos in our country, so we gotta talk about it. It's not gonna be easy, it's gonna get us in trouble, but hey, what can you do? This is the reason. How do you know this is not the reason why you are where you are today? Why do you think God kept you alive? Why do you think God has availed certain resources to you? God has availed certain opportunities to you. God has made certain things available in your life. It is because maybe it's because so you can do what you're doing. A couple of days ago, IPOB, you guys know IPOB, Independent People of Biafra, they said a high court ratified the judgment that was passed on them and got them proscribed as a terrorist organization. So we see that IPOB, thank you, Peter. We see that IPOB has been proscribed and declared a terrorist organization. Honestly speaking, with everything that, and I'm not an advocate for IPOB, I'm just a Nigerian. I'm just a Nigerian Canadian, a youth, a human being who is intelligent enough to read the papers and know, and I'm aware of my environment and I know what is happening. I'm aware of the activities of IPOB. In as much as I don't agree with all the activities of IPOB and their ideologies 100%, but I have sympathy for IPOB. I am somebody from the eastern part of Nigeria. I'm a child of the Biafran War, so I understand the IPOB issue. But I'm also a Nigerian who believes in Nigeria, and I know that I believe that there is room for Nigeria to make it and become greater again if we do things correctly. So IPOB was proscribed and made a terrorist organization based on their activities, but I don't think that there was any case where IPOB was involved in mass killing. In fact, DSS and the authorities in Nigeria showed reasons for calling IPOB a terrorist organization. It was based on their threats. It was based on them organizing a security apparatus that seemed to challenge the established security structure of the Republic of Nigeria. It was based on claims, based on threats, based on expressions, based on perceptions. These things were not based on anybody being killed, and yet they were proscribed as a terrorist organization. Fast forward to Fulani herdsmen. There are repeatedly reported cases of mass murder of Nigerians by Fulani herdsmen continuously. Not every time there is a killing. And let me tell you something. Some of the killings are some of the killings happen because some cows belonging to the Fulani men were killed, and so in retaliation to that, they now killed human beings. It's not just that we're suspecting that they did that. They actually they owned up and said the reason why we killed was because they killed our cow. So the fact I'm trying to establish here is that in the case of IPOB, there are claims that if you leave them, they are going to do this or they're going to do that. So it's not that they actually did it. But in the case of the Fulani herdsmen, it is alleged, because that's the language we use in the media, it is alleged that they actually did the killings, and they owned up and they said they did the killings, but they gave reasons for the killings. My question is this: since the federal government of Nigeria knows that these Fulani herdsmen killed people, albeit they did the killing because of their animals, but they did actually kill human beings. It's been established that they killed it. They said that they did videos of it. They uploaded all over the internet. You see them rejoicing. You see them with shooting guns up. You see them, sometimes they even made statements that they said, oh, we're doing this because our brother is at the helm of our affairs, so we know that nobody can do us anything. Whether the video was doctored or not, but it's out there on the internet. So my point is this: since we can prove to some extent that this group of people have masterminded and carried out these killings of Nigerians, shouldn't they be proscribed? Well, when you say proscribed, somebody will say, how can you proscribe maybe an ethnic group? Get this right. Not every Fulani man is a Fulani herdsman. Not every Fulani herdsman gets involved in killing human beings. But those group of people that continuously carry out attacks on fellow Nigerians, shouldn't we maybe give them a name but brand them as a terrorist organization? Some time ago, somebody was talking and he said that they are criminals and they should be treated as criminals. I'm yet to see where, maybe I'm wrong here, don't get me, maybe there is and I've not seen, but I need to see a case where people were arrested and they were sued to court and the judge passed a judgment of them. Either they were fined or they were made to go to prison. I don't think anybody has been sentenced because they killed any human being and they are a Fulani cattle herdsman. So this is my question this afternoon. Should the Fulani herdsmen who have been proven to be involved in a lot of attacks, should they be described as a terrorist organization? Should the federal government go ahead and declare them a terrorist organization? Since this is not the first time, at least we know that the federal government has the apparatus, the federal government has the wherewithal to be able to declare any group and anybody within the country and ascribe the name terrorist organization to them, if they're able to do that, should they not be according the same privileges of a terrorist? Oh my God, the way it just came out of my mouth. Privileges of a terrorist organization. Yes, because one of the privileges will be being addressed as a terrorist organization. So shouldn't that be happening? That's my question. I'd like to see your comments. Honestly, I would appreciate it if I see comments concerning this issue, because I want to know if people are afraid to talk about this issue, or is it because I don't know. I want to see comments. I want to see what, especially people who are on the ground, tell me what you feel about this. It doesn't matter whether you're on the ground, whether you're somewhere else, but I need this to be a very interactive session. I want us to talk about it. I want people to know what others are feeling about it. Since these attacks by the way, a couple of hours ago, people in London, in UK, they embarked on a protest. They embarked on a protest about herdsmen attacks in Nigeria. Some time ago here in Toronto, we had a protest at the Dundas Square, and a lot of people came out. Oga Julius, thank you so much for signing in. Oga Julius, you're aware, you're a member of Nigerian Canadian Association. We had our protest right from when this issue started. We protested about it, but unfortunately, it looks like this protest and so many things that a couple of people did not even change the situation. The situation has continued to grow worse and worse and worse. It has affected so many states. Benue is the one that is most hard hit now because they lost a lot of people recently. But these attacks have taken place in Enugu State. They've taken place in Ekiti. They've taken place in Adamawa. They've taken place in Imo. They've taken place in Zamfara. They've taken place in Delta. Delta is so bad because Delta involves a lot of kidnapping of people, and they even killed Royal Majesty Akeze Ofule III of Ubolo Uku in Delta State. So there's been cases. My uncle in my village, I come from Ozala in Enugu State, my uncle was macheted by a Fulani person. That one I knew. I posted the pictures up on Facebook. So this issue has been going on and on, unabated. I did a program, I did a broadcast that I said my Fulani brothers and sisters. The reason I did that is to show that I have friends of mine who I went to university with, who are still friends of mine today, who are from the Fulani tribe. And these guys are well-respected human beings. They do things, they are nice people. I don't have anything against them. I've not seen them involved in any terrorist activity. But there are people who are involved in this whole ring. It's a crazy thing. There are people who are involved in masterminding these attacks. There are people who instigate people. There are people who pay for the ammunition that these people use. There are people who import these people from outside Nigeria. It is so terrible. So these are the people that I am talking about. These are the people that I'm worried about. Those people who are involved in this organized crime. It is personally, I think it has every footprint of terrorism. What more can be more terrorizing than when you go into a village and you sack a whole village? It is almost the same pattern as the Boko Haram group. So we don't even know what we're dealing with here. I had said it before that the normal Fulani cattle rearer that we used to know right from when we were kids, who went about his business. He came to the village market square on a village market day. He sold his milk to the villagers. The women had all their beads everywhere. The men even put makeup those days. They only had their big stick that they held behind their back. They sold honey. They did all kinds of things. They lived at peace with the villagers. They are not the same kind of Fulani herdsmen today that carry AK-47. An AK-47 is close to 1.8 million naira. A cow is about 180,000 naira. So, like, I watched something that was a broadcast by Pastor Yedepo, and he was saying it's not possible that the Fulani herdsman that you see carrying that AK-47 is the one that is providing that rifle for himself. Because even if he's providing a rifle to protect his cow, how can he be using a tool of 2-point-something million naira to protect something that is just 180,000? It doesn't make sense. H3Rdsm3N says there are terrorists and evil, whether they are so called or not. The sad thing is that the government is blind, deaf and dumb about this Fulani matter. It is so disturbing. It is very, very disturbing. Let me go again and talk about okay, let me just limit myself to the Fulani headsmen. Thank you, H3Rdsm3N. H3Rdsm3N thinks that they should be called a terrorist organization. You know, what else? Maybe we should carve a name so that you don't kind of you don't put a name on a tribe or a group of people. We should find a name and then say that that is the name of this group, that this is a terrorist group of Fulani people. David Sachs, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you so much. David Sachs lives here in Canada. We here, we are so angry, we are so pissed off, we are not happy with what is happening right before our eyes. Our country that we so much love is just disintegrating. Everything is just going bad. I'm telling you, it is so annoying. You wake up here every day, you're thinking Nigeria, it's so frustrating. You don't understand. It affects, I mean, I'm a Nigerian Canadian. I live in Canada. I do things with Canadians. I go out. I'm supposed to flow with my environment, because these are people that you live with. These are people that you do things with. But the situation in Nigeria makes it very, very difficult for me. So when you want to talk to people about, you're not talking about things that are happening around your environment. It makes them think that you are selfish. It makes them think like you're not relating with them. But the truth is that you want to talk about your environment, you want to talk about what is happening here, but the issue in Nigeria they refuse to leave your brain. It's stuck in your brain. It doesn't let you do any other thing. It is so, I'm telling you, it is in your head. There's nothing you can do about it. I don't know about other people, but everything, if I go outside and I see, if I just go outside and the road is all cleaned up and cars are going back and forth, I think about Nigeria. I say, this is what we could have in my country. I go and sit down in a restaurant, I order food, you know, I can afford so much food and they bring it in front of you. The next thing I'm thinking about Nigeria. Somebody probably is not eating. People have money, they can do this, but they cannot carry their family to go to a place because maybe, I'm not trying to paint a bad picture of Nigeria, but I'm trying to tell you that things could be much, much better. Things used to be much more fun than now, but there's so much insecurity that so much joy, so much fun, so much peace has been taken out of the life of people, and it bugs the hell out of me. And I'm not the only one. I relate with people here, you talk to other people, everybody is feeling the same thing. If I knew the one thing that if I did it, it would just change the situation in Nigeria, trust me, I would do it. So that's all I can do now, is to just talk when I can. Barrister Fumi Kazim, thank you so much for joining. Emmanuel Atma, thank you. Iveren Akol, thank you so much. Victor Nwala. Victor, I'm so happy you signed on the program. Ladies and gentlemen, Victor Nwala is a security expert, and Victor is someone who this matter is so much in his heart. We've talked about this. He sent me videos. He's one of the people that I think is positioned to do so much for this country. There are a lot of people I've identified in Nigeria that I think are needed for a time like this, and they're able to make a difference, and I'm hoping they'll be able to rise up to the occasion like a lot of us and be able to do whatever we can for our country. So Victor, you're welcome. Guys, I want to see more of the texting. I want to see more responses so that it doesn't look like it's only me that is saying that. I'm even just leaving it open. Do we think they should be a terrorist organization? Do you think, oh, they should just be regarded as a criminal, as a group of criminals? Or should we just see what they do as a crime of retaliation and say, oh, you know what, somebody killed their cow? Or do we even think that maybe this is a plot by someone out there to be able to carry out another sinister agenda that we are not seeing right now? These are things that bug my mind. These are things that I want to keep pointing to. I want to keep putting it out there. You ask me, hey, are you not afraid of the repercussion that could come out of this? I'm like, what are you going to do? If the youth in Nigeria, the young generation, we seem to have been silenced, we have been intimidated, we've been harassed, they've scared us so much. In fact, let me tell you what happened. I saw a broadcast. I don't really know who that lady is, but we're going to attend to that issue not far from now. Probably discuss it in our next meeting of the Nigerian Canadian Association. But a lady was giving a broadcast. She's probably from the Nigerian government, but she was mentioning that monies have been distributed by the past ambassador of Canada. He's been given money to distribute so that there will be protests all over the place, starting from UK and then US and Canada. I see that as a big indictment for us here in Canada, and I see that as a form of intimidation. You know, when you go ahead and say, oh, they are trying to plan a riot a demonstration in Canada and they've received money, then we say, oh my goodness, we can't do that because they're already talking about it. If we do it, they'll say they gave us money. But let me tell you something. That is not, it doesn't even hold any water. We will do here whatever we want to do. You cannot intimidate people, and this is not America. Yes, you can reach people here and do whatever you want to do with them, but you know what? There's a lot that people in the diaspora can do to help the situation in Nigeria, and I can bet you people are not just sitting down. People are doing stuff. People are mobilizing. The intellectuals are not just sitting down. Thanks to Peter Agada, who is also watching this program. Thanks to a lot of other professionals who have been mobilizing people together to brainstorm and try to find answers to the situation in Nigeria. But I think all of us have to keep doing something in our own small way. Let's not stop. Let's keep doing something. Let's keep texting. Let's keep tweeting. Let's keep engaging people on social media. Let's engage them. Let's not just talk or get angry, but let's just engage them. That is the much I really want to talk about today. Personally, I know they say in the media you're not to give your personal opinion, but my personal opinion, because I'm a human being and I think and I see things happen, I think the government would do us all a lot of good and a lot of duty if they are able to actually identify the activities of the Fulani headsmen as a terrorist activity. It will go a long way to making people know that the government actually is concerned about what is going on. If they don't do it, then people will always think that maybe the government is sitting back to watch these things happen. because when you don't condemn an activity, it means that you sanction that activity. So if the government is not really sanctioning these people and declaring them a terrorist organization, then it means that, who knows, probably they are in support of what they're doing. I'm not saying that, but perception is everything. The way we perceive and perception is very, very, very strong. So many people are saying the government is not doing enough. It's because of the way they perceive the body language of the government. Pastor Ebi, thank you for coming on the program. Sam Ekanem, Andy Osazemen, thank you so much. Esther Godwin, thank you all for coming on the program. And then subscribe if you have not subscribed to our worship media channel. Please, guys, that's another thing I want to beg you. It's not been easy. Our YouTube channel has been shut down several times because we just won't keep our mouth shut. We just keep talking about these things. But you know what? They shut you down. You gotta get up and continue. This is a struggle, not for one person. All of us are in this thing together. So if you're watching right now, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to Google YouTube. When you come to YouTube, just type in worship media. The first one that comes out with a WM sign, that's our new worship media channel. I want you to click on it and subscribe to our channel so you can keep us doing what we're doing, and we can keep bringing you this kind of broadcast. YouTube has an ultimatum. You have to reach a certain number of subscribers, otherwise they're going to shut you down. We don't want to be shut down. A lot of people will be happy to see us shut down, but I think those for us are greater than those that are against us. Thank you once again for coming on the program, and from all of us in the Worship Media Studio here in Toronto, Canada, from Erica, this is me, Dr. Chidi, signing out.